Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're going to look at two Sony devices which are used a lot for emulation, and both of these are pretty old devices. This is the Sony Xperia Play, otherwise known as the first PlayStation certified mobile phone, which was released back in 2011. So it runs old version of Android Gingerbread 2.3. And this is the PSP Go, which was released back in 2009, I believe. So this one's even older. It's quite old, but both of them are still used by some people these days for emulating games, like using ROMs and emulators, or they're still used for playing a lot of games. So yeah, we're gonna compare the two. I did a video before about the NVIDIA Shield versus the WikiPad versus the Open Pandora about playing various emulation games and stuff. So these two are gonna be a little bit smaller. I think there is a lot of people who want like smaller devices for playing these retro games and stuff. So I mean, these are definitely the right form factor for it. This one is a phone, and this one is a dedicated video game console. Both of them have this slide out kind of feature where it has similar. These two are actually very, very similar in design. Both of them, as you can see, it's quite similar, the layout and design here. You got the D-pad on the left side, and you got the PlayStation buttons on the right side, the control buttons, right? The Xperia has these two controls in the middle. I'm not really sure what they really are used for. I don't think that they're touch controls or anything. Anyways, I don't really use them in games anyway. You have select and start here, and a menu button here, context menu here. Whereas here you have a analog stick and select and start. So I guess the Xperia Play is missing this little analog stick. But both of them have also shoulder buttons as well, L and R shoulder buttons. So that's pretty interesting as well. This thing has this interface, the Xperia Play interface here, where it has a bunch of apps here. I got these like all pre-installed, by the way, because I bought a used version. But yeah, it comes with a lot of these cool apps. This cool interface that is called My Games, and I guess it loads this thing up when you slide it up at the beginning. Yeah, I can show you guys a little bit about the hardware, then we'll move on to how good it is at emulating games itself. So yeah, like I said, it has this slide out kind of game control interface right here. The Xperia Play has left and right buttons, and it has volume up and down right here because it is also a phone, unlike the PSP Go. And this one has the standard Android controls down here, like back, home, menu, and search. It does not have the context switching because it's using an old version of Android, so it doesn't have that button. Yeah, so it does have this menu button though. Anyways, this runs Android 2.3, I believe. Yeah. So basically, this pulls up the menu down here. In modern day Android devices, it will give you a list of apps that you're running instead. Back here, we do have a camera. I think this is a 3 megapixel camera, 3.2 megapixel or something. It's not a very, very good camera, but this phone is not supposed to be used for taking pictures and stuff. That's just a side thing. It's mostly being used for playing games and stuff. Headphone jack right here at the bottom. It charges by micro USB, so everything uses that. And then below this battery cover here, which is pretty, I think this is a pretty thick one. It's not the one that it usually comes with, but this is the one I got. I think it's better for gripping. The one that it comes with initially is thinner, so don't think that the Xperia Play is really this thick to begin with. It's actually thinner. It's just the battery cover. This one is a little bit custom, so it's a thicker, so I can use it to hold the phone better when playing games. Beneath the battery cover is a micro SD slot and SIM card slot, and yeah, and then the on button right here. So that's about it. That's the Xperia Play, and this is the PSP Go. You got speakers here, microphone as well, and you have left-right buttons. Then you have volume buttons right here, just like on the Xperia. Dedicated music button right here if you want to listen to music. Headphone jack and proprietary charger right there, as well as you can even hook this up to your backpack with a keychain link. And over here you have a Sony memory stick. I think this is a memory stick micro, yeah, M2 slot, and wireless on and off. You can switch it, and over here you have the power hold button right there. And yeah, that's the PSP Go. This one is older than the Xperia Play. As you can see, the PSP Go We can do this one first. Alright, so the PSP Go uses the same kind of interface here as the PS3. If you guys have the PlayStation 3, you will recognize this interface. It is very, very similar. The thing is, the cool thing about the PSP Go is, well, people didn't like it at the beginning because it doesn't take in the PSP UMD discs, right? It can really only play digital downloaded games. And people didn't like it at the time because they liked physical media. Well, in retrospect, now these days, a lot of people are playing their games digitally, which means that the PSP Go actually is actually pretty useful these days. The PlayStation Power, there's a PlayStation button right here. I think that's the main one. Yeah, most people play the games digitally. I know I download most of my PS Vita games and stuff onto the memory card instead of buying the physical media. The reason is because you have to carry around a bunch of physical media around with you if you're traveling and stuff, which is what you'll probably do with a handheld device, right? You're traveling stuff, and it's just a lot easier to have the games on a memory stick, like multiple games on a memory stick, instead of carrying them one by one. And in that sense, the PSP Go was kind of ahead of its time. The fact that it was released in an era when physical media was very prevalent, and then people didn't like it at the time. But now these days, a lot of people still use the PSP Go for emulation, especially game emulation. You can download a custom firmware, which is what I did. I downloaded a custom firmware onto this PSP that can play, that you can mod. Basically, you can download some ISOs and stuff for PlayStation 1 games and for PSP games. They will play natively. I think for other games like the other retro ones like Super Nintendo or Nintendo games, you would have to download a custom emulator. But yeah, it can play PSP games and PS1 games natively. So I did download a bunch of games on here native. So let's see, I have to actually, yeah, I think I have to do this first. Okay, do the fast recovery. Okay, and then it should show a bunch of the games that I downloaded onto here. Yeah, I think the main storage, I think it comes with about 12 gigs of usable storage. I think the whole thing's like 16 gigs probably. And you can expand that with the memory stick micro. But there we go. So just restart it, and now I have all the games that I downloaded here. These are all PSP games. It'll play them natively. For example, if I want to play Shin Budokai, and this is a PSP game, I just download the ISO onto the root folder of the PSP, and it will automatically detect it with the game folder once you do the fast recovery, and then it'll recognize it, and then you can play it. And yeah, this is a PSP game, pretty cool, that I got. And if you have the ISOs, of course you can play it on here for free. So Shin Budokai. And yeah, it's just the emulation, everything is perfect. Let's do no game here. Oh, it takes a while to load. Okay. Yeah, it's fine. Let's just do an arcade. Yeah, it's fine. No, I've never actually played this game before. I played Budokai 3 on PS3 and PS2. Well, I'll choose Broly. He's one of my favorites. Super Saiyan Goku versus Broly. Really, the only thing Goku did to piss Broly off was because he cried too much as a baby, and that's pretty much it. And Broly's like really mad at that. But yeah, the graphics look really, really nice on the screen, actually. It's a pretty small screen. I think it's only like less than 4 inches. Pretty small screen, but the PSP games actually look really nice on here. Well, as they should, because this is the PSP Go, right? It's designed for this. But of course, you can try other games like this, like the PS1, it plays natively. You can try some emulators to play some older retro games, Sega Genesis or SNES or what have you. But yeah, for PSP games is where it shines, because it's what it's supposed to do, right? And the analog sticks work well too. You have to do the shoulder buttons here. Die Goku or Kakarot. Goku's way too overpowered in the new Dragon Ball Z series, Super. I don't know if anyone watches Dragon Ball Super, that's a new Dragon Ball series, but Goku is like so much stronger than everyone else in it, and it's not... Like Gohan, for example, just gets completely nerfed in the new series, and then Goku and Vegeta are pretty much just the only ones who really do anything. And that's what I don't like about Super. I actually like GT a little bit better, because they make everyone more involved. Super is just all about Goku and Vegeta, which I don't like. Oh, come on. And I know Broly is not part of the Dragon Ball Z canon. He's only in the movies, but he's actually more popular than a lot of the actual canon characters. So a lot of people actually want him to be canon. Which, if I was Akira Toriyama, I would probably do that. I mean, it would make so much money if you just put like Broly in the canon and sell some action figures and stuff, and you know, you make so much money from that. Like have Super Saiyan Blue Broly, for example. Be interesting. Oh, I think I'm almost dead too. Almost died. But yeah, that's one example of a game you can play on here. I'm gonna try another one. I think I have Final Fantasy on here as well. Okay, got... Oh, Persona's really good. Final Fantasy... Yeah, let's do Dissidia. One thing about Square Enix, I really wish they would release another Sleeping Dogs, and I know the studio for Sleeping Dogs just shut down, but it's really a shame because Sleeping Dogs is one of the best games I've ever played, and me and my friend, who both really like it, we were hoping for a sequel, but that's probably not going to happen now that we know that the studio kind of shut down. It's just too bad. What? The day of the week? Okay. What's RPG mode? Let's try that. Standard. Yeah. Now, I do have Final Fantasy 15, but I didn't play as much as other people did. The people are so crazy about Final Fantasy, they put like hours and hours into that game. Yeah. Now, but usually the Final Fantasy series is known as having the best graphics on their respective platforms. And I think Dissidia 12 Final Fantasy should be that case as well. So I think this is actually a fighting game. Okay, so I'm Lightning from Final Fantasy 13. Yeah, it's actually like a fighting game. Interesting. Okay, so I guess that's what they mean by RPG style, is they have the controls. I guess they have the menu like that, the commands and stuff that you would normally put in an RPG style. You like do command, and then you would do like heal or attack or something.
Better get ready for next time.
Lightning's not my favorite character though. I would prefer like Squall or something. Or like Yuna even. It's finisher. Okay, fight. Fight. Okay. Okay, nice. So yeah, the graphics look pretty decent for PlayStation Portable.
Some things in life you just do.
These guys all seem similar. Shit.
Dodge this. Dodge this. Have some more.
Okay, that's pretty easy. do 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 do.
Better get ready for next time.
Okay, this is Moog here. After just playing like World of Final Fantasy on the Vita, it's definitely a step down, but still pretty cool, I guess, for PlayStation Portable. It is one of the. This is one of the more popular games on there. But yeah, that's the PlayStation Portable Go, the PSP Go. Now these days, a lot of people are still using this device, even though it's really old, because they can mod it, the firmware, and play whatever they want on it, which is pretty cool. Yeah. So yeah, I got like Grand Theft Auto here, Persona, yeah, Dragon Ball Z, Kingdom Hearts. Whatever game you want, you can actually put on this, you know, as long as it has storage. And you mod the firmware. So play all the PSP games, PS1 games natively, and I believe you can also make it work for retro games as well if you put in the emulators. So that's the PSP. Pretty cool device. And then it goes into this clock mode once you pull down the slider. And this is the Xperia Play. So let's see. This one I've not tried PSP games on, although I could. There is emulators for PSP, but for the sake of saving space, I just put some normal GBA and SNES games on here because they don't take up too much space. But yeah, I have like, for example, Pokemon on here. You know, this is Pokemon Crystal, not Crystal, Emerald, which is one of my favorite Pokemon games, and one of the best games for Game Boy Advance, in my opinion. But yeah, all the controls and stuff. This form factor is really good, you know, for emulation stuff. Indeed, okay. So these things don't do anything down there, maybe. I'm not sure what these things are for, but yeah, you have the D-pad right here, and no analog stick, it looks like. Oh, I think I should set the clock in the room. That's what to do. Oh shit. Yeah. I was like pressing A, but I was like pressing X instead. Because that's what it is on Sony. I feel like this is a Nintendo game. Of course, Sony and Nintendo uses different controls. Yep. Okay, I have time to get my Pokemon then. I love how the town's always just like three houses, 3 or 4 houses, and that's it. That's the entire town. You'd think there would be more people working on it. Yep, I had to go to the fields. Okay. I think this is the one where he is battling outside or something. Yes, I know. What? But I just said the professor's outside. Darn you. Oh, I have to meet the daughter first. It's obviously going to be my rival. Yeah, no, you're interested in me and we just met. Happens to me all the time. Oh, darn it, I was gonna steal that Pokeball. Okay. Stupid little girl. I don't have to listen to you. Oh, okay, she let me this time. Oh yeah, here's the one to save him. Say, quick, take out one of the Pokeballs and help me from this horribly scary raccoon. Alright, this is the Pokemon. Oh, Trico, Torchic. Yeah, I'll choose Torchic. I know, this raccoon is like horribly dangerous, isn't it, Professor? Just a level 2. Okay, it's dead. I love how, like, in Pokemon, it's so PG rated, so it doesn't, things don't die here, it's just like they faint. But just imagine you're like traveling down the road and there's like hundreds of fainted Pokemon on the road. Or in the grass. How long do they faint for anyway? We don't know. Pulled it off with aplomb. Nice. Good words. Yep, that's the Pokemon you choose. Oh no, I don't want a nickname for it. Yes, I'm ready for my date with her, Professor. It's like already just the first day moving in and I can already go into her bedroom. That's how fast things are progressing with me and her. Alright. Anyways, guys, yeah, just so you know, the Game Boy Advance game, like Pokemon, for example, it runs pretty well. Pretty well in the Xperia Play. Yeah, anyways, that's Pokemon Emerald, one of the best games on the Game Boy Advance. And we can also do a Super Nintendo game. I have Chrono Trigger right here, one of the best games of all time. It is a little bit letterboxed in here. Maybe that's because I don't have the Pro version or whatever, but I'm sure I can fix that. But yeah, right now this game is a little bit letterboxed on the screen. This music is so classic. I love. This is back when Squaresoft, you know, made games for Nintendo, and they made like the best games ever, like Final Fantasy VI and Chrono Trigger and stuff. Amazing, amazing games. And like this moment when I meet Marl, I remember when I played in this game, I was like 12 years old, okay? When I first played this game. In the moment where you like meet Marl and you like hang out with her at this fair and stuff, Like, keep in mind, I was like a pretty bored, lonely kid, and I still am, I guess. But like, this moment is like when I really bonded with this video game. It's like, wow, I get to meet this actual girl and stuff and hang out with her in a video game. Even in a video game, you know, that's pretty cool because most video games at that time, you don't really get this kind of connection with an NPC. And yeah, I don't give it back. But yeah, but the fact that you have this girl wandering around with you at the beginning of the game is really awesome. And you know, obviously she later becomes a big part of the story. But yeah, it's almost like I get sucked into this world and I'm really with this girl, and she will say like this. Mario will actually say things whenever you do when you do things in this festival. And to this day, they still haven't really made an actual sequel to Chrono Trigger. They made Chrono Cross, which is sort of a sequel, but not really a direct sequel. Since a lot of the characters didn't actually come back in that game. Like, to this day, I guess they still haven't really released a sequel for this game. But it is one of the most beloved games ever. Okay, so for example, I would eat this thing, this chicken in this bag, right? And then she would laugh and stuff. It's like, Chrono, you're such a pig. See, it's like little touches like that that make this game feel so realistic. Like in most other games, you know, like something like that, you wouldn't get a reaction out of the other NPCs, but it was cool. And this one will fight. No techniques, obviously. Just start it up. I think this game and Super Mario RPG and Secret of Mana are the RPGs I played the most on SNES. And I didn't play Final Fantasy VI or Earthbound as much, even though those are also really good RPGs on the SNES, but I think, yeah, these ones are the ones I played the most. Nice. That's all I have. So right now L and R don't do anything, it's on SNES. But yeah, Super Nintendo games fully playable, obviously. You can use basically any emulator on this since it's Android, it's full Android. And yeah, this is just a little bit of gameplay from some of the games I have on here, like Chrono Trigger and Pokemon, some really classic games. Man, this game brings back memories. Really good game. So yeah, that's Xperia Play. Put any emulators on this, it'll work. And really good for playing games. Actually, let me try a game that I already have on here. I think I have like, ooh, I have a Sims 3. I didn't know that. Let's try this Crash Bandicoot game. Oh no. Is that like, maybe that's not actually a game on here. I have to download it from somewhere. Okay, what about the Sims 3 game? Let's try that. 80 additional megs. Okay, let's try downloading that. Okay, so this is Sims 3 on the Xperia Play. Interesting. Never tried this version out. And I hope it's not similar to the Game Boy versions, because those versions sucked. Wow, this actually looks kind of like the PC version, which is pretty cool. I mean, graphics-wise, it looks... Yeah, graphics-wise, this actually looks very similar to the PC version. I'm impressed. Do-do-do. 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 Even has, like, similar... Well, I guess there's not going to be much variety in terms of customizing, huh? Yeah. Yeah, obviously there's not as much customization as in the PC version, but I mean, I can't even see which clothes I can use. Which one's the best? Okay, that's all I have, right? Okay, I guess I'll select this one then. Yep. Jack of all trades. Yeah, let's do that. Traits. So shy, friendly. I have a bunch of traits here. Genius. Let's do that. Okay, I just have some random name there. Oh, okay. So this, the edit appearance. Okay. So I guess the D-pad controls this pointer stick to choose where you can go. And then the right trigger brings up the wishes menu to see what kind of wishes he has, and the left trigger brings up the status menu of your sim, so you can see. Yep, so you can see their needs. Okay, so that's not bad. Okay, watch TV. Okay. Oh, you can actually do that. Interesting. Okay. So it looks like the buttons down here, I guess you can call them buttons, they're actually touch sensitive. See, like this? I guess I didn't realize this before because they're not used in the retro emulation games, but here you can see like you can actually use these buttons. They're touch sensitive, and you can actually use them in this kind of game to like rotate and stuff. So it's akin to an analog button, but it's actually like a touch sensitive analog stick, which is really interesting. This one doesn't do anything yet, but this one, yeah, it changes the perspective, which is pretty interesting. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I guess I can also click here. Okay, make him watch TV. Watch TV. There we go. Goal completed. I watch TV. Amazing. My life's goal is now complete. I watch TV. Alright. Let's see if I can go outside a little bit. Zoom out. This house is actually bigger than the house I lived in Korea, by the way. Is there anything outside this world? Gain a skill point at fishing. Okay. How do I do that? Can I buy stuff? One of the things I love about The Sims the most is buying stuff. Wow, it's locked. No, I hate stuff that I locked. That's the kind of crap they pull in Sims 4. Yep, don't want to do that. Sims 3 is still my favorite Sims game, more than Sims 4 because it doesn't lock all that shit. Oh man. Okay, go to town. Yes. Okay, so where can I go fishing? Some big houses over there. I don't see any lake. Oh, here's lake. The lake. Visit. My guy moves fast. It's like he's in a car or something, but he's not. He's like just in some state. Huh. Can I meet some more people for fishing? No, I have to meet some Sims for fishing. I can't just fish. Can't just fish by myself. No. Oh, there's a person. Okay. Okay, this goth chick will fish with me. It's okay. Oh shit. Flirt. Yes. Is that it? Darn it. Oh, I guess that's all my actions. Okay, anyways, graphics are pretty impressive. The graphics are very similar to the PC version, actually. Okay. Even though the features are a little bit limited, but the graphics... What? Fishing equipment? Darn it. Let's meet this person. Greet warmly. Yeah, the graphics look very similar to the PC version, but the features are obviously crippled compared to the PC version, but it's still pretty... It's more than I expected, I guess. Interesting. Okay. Anyways, yeah, you can play The Sims 3 and a bunch of other games with this. You know, it's using Android controls, and these touch controls down here are pretty interesting as well. Haven't really seen them before. Okay. Anyways, that's Sims 3. Save and quit. And that's the Sony Xperia Play from 2011. Old phone, but still a very usable gaming console, I guess, if you use it for emulators and playing Android games. Older Android games, that is. But yeah, that's a little look at the Sony Xperia Play and the PSP Go. You guys have already seen my other devices like NVIDIA Shield and WikiPad and the Open Pandora and GPD Win, and those are also really good mobile gaming consoles as well. If you guys like these kind of smaller retro emulation devices, I think you'll probably also like the JXDs. JXD makes a lot of good Android devices as well for playing games and stuff. You can also use Bluetooth keyboard, obviously, to pair with your existing phone and make it easier for playing games. GPD has another model called the XD, which is their Android version of a game machine. And there's also the Linux gaming machines as well, like the GCW0 and the Dingu and other ones that are Linux based and still used for emulation. So yeah, you guys can check those out as well. But yeah, these ones are also pretty good. Sony Xperia Play and the PSP Go for playing retro games and emulating games. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my videos if you like them, and leave me any comments.